Tomorrow is the day that decides the fate for Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto, the broader markets, what's going to happen with stocks, all waiting on the decision of one man. In today's video, I'm going to break this down a bit more for you, taking a look at the Bitcoin and Ethereum charts as well, looking at the reaction to yesterday's sell-off. My name's Lark. I make videos on investing. If you like that topic, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also leave a thumbs up on this video if you like this kind of content. Now let's go ahead and get into it. So with the Federal Reserve meeting tomorrow set to decide what the interest rate hike is going to be, we have the S&P 500 right here sitting at, well, resistance, which is a pretty key area for it to be at. So if we get a more favorable rate hike decision, we can see it blast past resistance. But if we don't, of course, then this resistance will be a nice area to see a rejection coming in at. And of course, a downward move dragging all markets right along the frick with, because that's what happens when the stock market moves, crypto tends to move even faster. So if the Federal Reserve calls it a 75-point rate hike, 0.75%, that would set up markets, I think, potentially for a nice little rally before next month's inevitable inflation data release drama. Has inflation gone down? Has it gone down enough? Has it stayed the same? All that stuff. We guys know how it is. This has been the story of markets for the last few months. These are the big stories. What's happened with the inflation? What is the Federal Reserve doing? 75 basis point rate hike, that would be in line with what the market expects. I think that's largely been priced in already, giving us that potential for, potentially seeing a rally between now and the inflation release. However, if we do get that 100 basis point increase, which is a possibility, it's about 1 in 5 chance right now, according to how the markets are pricing it in that situation, nothing good happens, because that has not necessarily been priced in completely to the markets, right? People are more expecting the 75 basis point raise, which is where 4 and 5 investors are seeing it going. So if we get that 100 basis point rise, that 1% increase to the interest rates, expect a little bit of a reaction here from the markets, and not a good reaction at that. So we'll see, of course, how that plays out. But it is kind of funny. It is kind of funny. All of us just sitting around waiting for Jerome Powell to stroll on out and tell us what's happening with the money, what's happening with the interest rates. World's a funny place, and it's unfortunate to see crypto in particular so now beholden to what is happening with the Federal Reserve and all this stuff. I understand it for the stock markets, but we've become institutionalized, at least to an extent, where what the NASDAQ does, what the S&P 500 does, crypto does too. Usually just with a bigger reaction. We go faster up and, well, faster down, usually. Anyway, if you are trying to play the interest rate hike announcement, you don't need to do anything right now. You can if you want to, if you think it's going to go up. I mean, putting in a long or something in that situation might make sense, right? But do be aware that we could have a bigger than anticipated interest rate hike. So you can just wait it out, wait for the final announcement. And if it does kick off a short-term rally between now and the inflation data release, there'll be plenty of time to jump into positions with a bit less risk. I also want to point out, this is kind of funny. I saw this today. So the Bitcoin rainbow price chart, basically a logarithmic scale chart with a lot of funny stuff put on top of it, has added in a new layer. Now the final level is 1 BTC equals 1 BTC. Those are bear market things. Bear market things right there. We got past basically a fire sale to like, it's going down. Let's just add a new category in here just in case. Oh boy. Now before we get into the charts, just a reminder, if you don't have an account yet over on Bybit, you need to get yourself one. It is the best place for longing and shorting all the top coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the best altcoins. They have a huge spot market as well with 0% fees on the spot market. You can also get 0% market maker fees on futures by using the link down below in the description. And using that link will also get you available for $4,450 in deposit bonuses. So please check that out. And thank you, of course, for supporting the channel by using that link. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. So, pretty interesting what happened here yesterday with Bitcoin. So this is a new low, the second lowest reading here for quite a long time. I mean, last time we had a price this low, well, we actually blasted past the 30 June levels, and this is really the lowest reading since the big blow-off back in mid-June. So this was definitely a very severe day for price action for Bitcoin. I did buy some more Bitcoin at $18,500 yesterday. I looked at it, I was like, you know what? Let's fast forward 5 years. I'm not going to regret buying some Bitcoin at $18,500. So I bought a little bit more Bitcoin. Not a crazy amount, just, my nibbles that I've been doing here on the market. But what is pretty interesting to see is that candle, that daily candle right there. Look at this. This is buyers stepping the heck up to the plate and buying some Bitcoin. Buyers were actually able to push the price of Bitcoin almost over $20,000. Got back up to $19,700. So we came close to getting back up to 20K. Not quite though. But we did just run into this line right here. This is what used to be a line of price support when we were ranging sideways between 19,500 and 20,500 for all that time. Now, of course, has turned itself into a line of resistance for Bitcoin. So even though buyers did step it up, there has been, over the past few months, a lot of demand to buy Bitcoin under $20,000. You can look here and see that, right? All these candles when Bitcoin is under $20,000. We have lots of long wicks where buyers step up to the plate and buy some gosh darn Bitcoins. We haven't spent a lot of time under 20K so far during this bear market event. So far being the keyword, of course. But we did see buyers stepping up yesterday. Where we'll end up, of course, largely I think depends on what the Federal Reserve is going to be saying. But I did think it was pretty noteworthy to see just this nice little bit of price action here where we do have buyers who are very interested in spot market buys for long-term Bitcoin holdings under the 20K price mark. We'll see how that continues to hold up moving forward here throughout the bear market and if buyers can sustain pressure with so much macro headwinds going on. Now taking a quick look here at Ethereum as well. Similar situation, we did see buyers stepping up, not as dramatic of a daily candle as we saw with Bitcoin, but what I really wanted to point out here was super interesting, that beautiful bounce off of support. So back here, we had this area at $1,280 acting as price resistance. That was back on the 25th of June and the 8th of July. That ended up being the point where we broke out beyond, getting us that nice rally up to $2,000. Now we came back down, retested that, and bounced basically perfectly off of that line of support in an absolutely beautiful move here from Ethereum. Now the question, of course, is can it sustain that momentum? Can it sustain that move? Was that going to be the bottom for now, right? We can actually build up and start saying, hey, let's go back up and retarget the 50-day exponential moving average, for example. We're up here around $1,600. Maybe we can get back up to the 100-day exponential moving average around $1,650 or something like that. But again, a lot of that depends on what we hear from the Fed tomorrow as to how markets are going to be looking at taking on risk over the next few weeks. Remember, Ethereum doesn't have any big catalysts coming up right now. Right? The merge is done. The next big thing for Ethereum is actually going to be the Shanghai upgrade in like 6 to 12 months, which is just going to be the release of staked Ethereum, which is going to bring, of course, sell pressure into the market. Of course, not gigantic sell pressure immediately, but sell pressure nevertheless. One thing interesting to point out here is the stochastic RSI is nearing what looks like a bottoming area. That's not to say that will definitively be the bottom. We can always go lower. The indicators can always read lower readings. But generally, when we've seen a bottoming out like this on the stochastic RSI, tends to indicate a bit of reversal might be in place. Maybe we do see that bounce here playing out, but again, that all becomes invalidated if we get an overly aggressive Fed announcement tomorrow. But if we do get 75 basis points, unbelievably, if we could get 50 basis points, we could see that playing out to be a bullish event for markets overall. Anyway, that's what I'm watching right now for the charts. Keeping an eye on Bitcoin, keeping an eye on Ethereum, seeing how those markets are reacting to these big macro events. Anyway, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow with the Fed meeting? Are we going to get 75 basis points? Are we going to get 100 basis points? How is the market going to react to all this? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.